An almost new Porsche 911 GT3 RS, built for the racetrack and worth well over $200,000, ended up being repossessed by a bank and sold for far less than its original price. That alone was surprising, but the real shock came when people discovered its engine was destroyed and Porsche had permanently blacklisted the car from its dealer network. Why would a company refuse to service one of its own flagship models? The answer led to a story involving a failed engine, a canceled warranty, and a mystery that reached far beyond a simple repair bill. Everyone knows Porsche models hold their value incredibly well. They rarely appear at public auctions, especially cars as desirable as the speed yellow 911 GT3 RS. Yet automotive YouTuber Mat Armstrong managed to buy this one for just £87,000, roughly $116,000. It sounded like either the bargain of a lifetime or a disaster waiting to happen. Considering Mat had built a reputation by rescuing damaged supercars that others had given up on, people couldn't wait to see which one it would be. But what was waiting inside this Porsche was far stranger than anyone expected. Once the paperwork was complete, the car was delivered to Mat's workshop. At first glance, it looked almost perfect. The paint protection film was untouched. The body showed no signs of crashes or hard track use. Everything suggested it had lived an easy life. Then Mat climbed inside, turned the key, and nothing happened. The engine stayed silent. The dashboard remained dark. It was as if the entire car had simply given up. But why would a nearly flawless supercar be completely lifeless? The paperwork revealed an even bigger surprise. Porsche had flagged this exact vehicle in its worldwide database and permanently removed it from the official dealer network. No warranty, no factory repairs, no dealership support. For a company famous for engineering excellence and customer service, this was almost unheard of. The original owner had apparently refused to deal with the repair costs, abandoned the car, and allowed the bank to repossess it. Mat hadn't just bought a broken supercar. He had bought a six-figure paperweight that even Porsche wanted nothing to do with. But the real reason wouldn't become clear until the engine itself told the story. The GT3 RS used one of Porsche's most celebrated naturally aspirated flat-six engines. Its 4-liter design could rev all the way to 9,000 RPM and was admired by enthusiasts around the world. Yet hidden inside this masterpiece was a serious flaw. A small part of the valve train, called the finger follower, could wear against the camshaft. Over time, that contact created metal fragments that circulated through the engine oil. Those tiny pieces acted like sandpaper, damaging critical components from the inside. Drivers began reporting ticking noises, engine misfires, sudden power loss, and complete failures. But how did Porsche respond? To protect both customers and its reputation, Porsche extended the warranty on affected engines to 10 years. If the defect appeared, owners were supposed to receive a brand new factory engine at no cost. That seemed straightforward, which raised an obvious question. If this yellow GT3 RS suffered from the exact problem the warranty covered, why was its claim rejected? The story began with the original owner. After noticing a strange ticking sound coming from the engine, he did exactly what most people would do. He drove straight to an official Porsche dealer, expecting the engine to be replaced under warranty. Technicians connected the car to Porsche's diagnostic system and started their inspection. Instead of approving the repair, the computer uncovered something buried deep inside the electronic records. Within moments, Porsche headquarters canceled the warranty, blacklisted the car, and handed the owner a repair estimate close to $60,000. Furious, he walked away from the car and never came back. But what had the computer found that changed everything? When the bank eventually repossessed the Porsche, it sat untouched until Mat won it at auction. As soon as the team began inspecting it, strange details appeared everywhere. The oil drain plug was loose. The engine had no oil. The cooling system was empty. Inside the cabin, a fuel pump fuse had been left sitting on the passenger seat. It slowly became clear that dealership technicians had already started taking the car apart before the warranty was canceled. Once Porsche refused to pay, the work stopped immediately. Parts were loosely reinstalled, loose components were tossed inside the cabin, and the unfinished car was pushed outside and forgotten. But was the engine beyond saving? Mat decided there was only one way to find out. The engine had to come out. Removing a GT3 RS engine is a massive job that requires disconnecting wiring, cooling lines, suspension parts, and the rear subframe before lowering the entire drivetrain from the chassis. After hours of careful work, the engine finally rested on the workbench, ready for inspection. Everyone expected catastrophic internal damage after months without fluids. Instead, they found something unexpected. The pistons and cylinder walls looked remarkably healthy. The engine hadn't destroyed itself through overheating or complete mechanical failure. The real damage was hidden higher up. As the valve covers came off, badly worn camshaft lobes appeared. Several finger followers had slipped out of position entirely. The wear matched the exact defect Porsche's extended warranty was created to fix. Everything pointed toward a legitimate warranty claim. So why had Porsche refused to honor it? The answer wasn't mechanical. It was digital. Modern supercars constantly record operating data across multiple electronic control units. If those records don't match, manufacturers know something is wrong. In this case, Porsche's diagnostics detected evidence of an illegal mileage blocker. This device interrupts the odometer, so the displayed mileage stays frozen even while the car continues to be driven. Owners sometimes use these devices to protect resale value because every additional mile can significantly reduce the price of an exotic car. But Porsche's diagnostic software compares far more than just the dashboard reading. Engine operating hours, control unit records, and other electronic logs quickly exposed the mismatch. Once Mat compared the electronic evidence with the physical wear inside the engine, everything made sense. The camshaft damage and worn components showed the engine had worked far harder than the odometer claimed. That was enough for Porsche to conclude the warranty conditions had been violated. The company wasn't simply refusing to fix a defective engine. It believed the vehicle had been involved in odometer fraud. But while the warranty was gone, Mat still believed the engine could be saved. Instead of replacing the entire power plant, he committed to rebuilding it from the ground up. First came the difficult task of cleaning every oil passage, pump, and gallery to remove any trace of metal debris. Even one tiny fragment left behind could destroy the rebuilt engine within minutes. Then came new camshafts and updated finger followers, designed to solve the original weakness. After that, the valve train had to be carefully shimmed and the engine timing reset with incredible precision. Dealerships normally rely on expensive factory equipment for this work. Mat's team achieved it using careful measurements, experience, and determination. But would all that effort actually pay off? As the deadline approached, the workshop became a non-stop operation. The team worked through the night reinstalling wiring, refilling fluids, checking every connection, and carefully lowering the rebuilt engine back into the car. Every bolt was checked twice. Finally, everything came down to one moment. Would the engine roar back to life? Or would months of work end in failure? Mat climbed into the driver's seat, while the rest of the crew watched in complete silence. The fuel pumps primed. He turned the key. The starter spun. Then, almost instantly, the 4-liter flat six burst into life. There were no warning lights. No fault messages. Oil pressure was perfect. Coolant circulated normally. Everything looked exactly as it should. Relief swept through the workshop. But a successful startup was only the beginning. Could the rebuilt engine survive real driving? The Porsche rolled off the lift and onto the road for a careful shakedown drive. The transmission shifted smoothly. The engine pulled cleanly. Every system behaved exactly as expected. Yet there was still one final challenge waiting. To truly prove the rebuild, Mat took the GT3 RS to one of the toughest circuits in the world, Germany's Nürburgring Nordschleife. On the legendary track, the rebuilt engine was pushed all the way to its 9,000 RPM redline. Lap after lap, the flat six screamed exactly as Porsche intended. The team monitored temperatures, timing, and every critical reading, searching for any sign that the old problem had returned. Nothing appeared. The engine stayed healthy. The repair had worked. In the end, Mat Armstrong rescued a supercar that many believed was destined for the scrapyard. But the bigger debate remained unresolved. Did Porsche unfairly abandon a customer suffering from a known design defect? Or did the company simply enforce its rules after uncovering clear evidence of odometer manipulation? Legally, Porsche had every reason to reject the warranty once the mileage records were found to be inaccurate. At the same time, The case highlighted how a known engineering flaw and a single violation of warranty terms combined to create an incredibly expensive outcome. For anyone considering an exotic performance car, the lesson is clear. A beautiful exterior and a low odometer reading don't always tell the whole story. Hidden electronic records, incomplete service history, or past modifications can turn what looks like an incredible bargain into a financial nightmare. In this case, one determined mechanic succeeded where everyone else walked away. But the question still remains. Would you ever buy a supercar that the manufacturer had permanently blacklisted?